Given that that Oaktree is now 120 billion, and I understand, not all pools of money are the same. Realistically, given the size of that tanker, how much time would you really need to meaningfully adjust a portfolio?
Well, first of all, I appreciate your use of the word adjust, because a lot of people who are less astute than you would say, how long would it take to go to cash? And the answer is going to cash. We don't go to cash, and going to cash under almost all circumstances is stupid. Because among other things, when you go to cash, you have to be right away. Because if you go to cash and prices keep going up for a while, as they invariably will, and returns continue to be positive, you fall so far behind by being in cash that you may even jeopardize your business to stay in business. And you'll certainly jeopardize a lot of your client accounts. So, but you used the term adjust portfolios. And if you read the book, as I hope you will, you'll see that we don't think about when is the turn going to come or when is the bottom going to come. And in fact, when is one of the words I reject in our business, because we sometimes have an idea what's going to happen and we never know when. The turns that matter, you see, the market is a little bit volatile. I mean, the economy is a little bit volatile. Sometimes it's up 3, and sometimes it's up 1, and sometimes it's down 1. Company profits are more volatile because companies are leveraged, operating and financial. But market prices do this because they're driven by people, by people's emotion, by what we call human nature. And so to figure out when things are going to happen, you would have to be able to predict emotion, which is impossible. And so we don't ever think about when at Oaktree. We think, and one of my mottos is, we never know where we're going, but we sure as hell ought to know where we are. What's going on around us? What does that imply about the future? And if we conclude that the present developments justify a more defensive position, then there's no time like the present. So we start, and we do what we can, and hopefully we do enough before the stuff hits the fan.
And you talked about, sort of the pain associated with going to cash, and then if you engage in abstention and the market keeps going up, then obviously you underperform.
And let's point out one of the most important adages in investing, that being too far ahead of your time is indistinguishable from being wrong.
Absolutely, early is wrong, sure. But along those lines, has that changed over the course of the last, again, call it 25 years?
No, because in order to predict and work toward and game for a relative return, now not only do you have to know what's going to happen, but you have to know how other people are going to behave in response to what's going to happen, and you have to set your game for that. So again, it sounds maybe impractical. All we try to do is the right thing. If prices are too high, if risks are too high, if interest rates are too low, then if the